안녕하세요. 아시아경제TV 코인인터뷰입니다. 저는 오늘 진행을 맡은 홍성진입니다. 오늘 코인인터뷰를 찾아주신 게스트는요, 러프의 로이 대표님입니다. 안녕하세요.
Hello.
Welcome to the studio. Okay, so is this your first time in Korea?
No, I've been here several times, but this is my first time as a business trip here.
Can you briefly introduce yourself to our Coin Interview viewers?
Okay, hi, I'm Roy.Li, and I'm the founder of Ruff Chain. Ruff Chain is a public chain designed for Internet of Things. I've been doing this business for over 15 years, and my foundation is a technical specialist, especially in cybersecurity, distributional systems, and the Internet of Things. And Ruff has been in this business for over 4 years. We're adopted by many large companies like Microsoft, GE, Schneider, HP, Baidu, etc. So yeah, it's really nice to be here and share some of our information to the audience here. Thank you.
That's great. So what kind of a platform is Ruff? Can you give like specific details or characteristics?
Yeah, so the main problem for the Internet of Things and the blockchain is that it's not easy to build your applications. You know that it's easy for you to write a web page or write an application on the cell phones, but it's not easy to write an IoT application, especially when you want to put the blockchain technology with the Internet of Things. For Ruff, we provide a JavaScript runtime and the hardware abstraction layer so that we enable all the developers to skip the hardest part of embedded system design. We know that for embedded system design, it requires you to use C code, especially for it can be tricky when it comes to the memory operations or the process management. We give you the standard API that's compatible with all the drivers, the protocols, all the devices, and you can use our abstraction to build your applications. It's just like using a web page, so it's easy to use, and that's why a lot of mainstream companies adopt our technology.
Yeah, no
that's
wonder.
basically for Ruff.
That's great. So how did this all begin? Is there any interesting story related to Ruff?
Yeah, actually, it's my own story. I saw that I've been in this business for so many years, and in year 2014, I decided to assemble a smart home kit. I ordered a few kits from the internet, and then I began to assemble all those kits together. And then I realized that I don't have sufficient knowledge for the firmware control, for the drivers, for the protocols, for the GPIO or I2C, all this stuff. I said, I mean, I'm a developer. I'm a damn good developer, and I can do something like this, and it's ridiculous. Then I realized that we need something like Android or Windows or like Ethereum. I mean, actually, Ethereum became famous afterwards. So we need something like Android or Windows or iOS. And then I said, why not just create something like that? I mean, I'm good at this. I mean, I'm not the best developers with the creation, but I'm the best developer with infrastructure level. I know what we need. I know how to make the other developers convenient. That's why I founded Ruff, and we've been focusing on the developers, not for people from general publics. And we managed to acquire over 15,000 developers for the last 3 years.
Wow, that's really great.
Yeah, that's some achievements that I'm pretty proud of.
That's true. Okay, so I've heard that security is one of the most important factors in IoT technology. And there are difficulties connecting IoT and blockchain, right?
Yes.
So how does Ruff deal with this problem?
I have to break down this problem with two parts. The first part is for IoT. For IoT, the main security issue is that we can't lose the access control of the devices, and sometimes the remote control may destroy a device, or the malicious attacks or any evil stuff happens. The way to deal with this is like, the easiest way to explain this is like we make almost all the edge computing nodes like the cold hardware wallet. So we have trust zones for the storage of the private keys, and the keys, symmetric private keys are not going to be are not going to show up in the communication part. And for the smart contract, I have to say that currently smart contract, if it's about transactions, it's fine. But if it's for contracts, not only Ethereum, but other contract platforms, they have security issues because whenever it comes to the Turing complete, it gives too much freedom for the developers. So it's easy for you to make mistakes. You see, there's a lot of smart contract issues. They're not supposed to be designed like this. So our main goal is that we block the Turing complete phase. So if you are not an infrastructure level, a very low level developer, you're not supposed to use some of the functions or the methods, and you are only able to use the functions that will never go wrong. So we don't give you the full access to the all the development. It's like we put a few layers, so you are able to use the framework. So all your codes were going to be within the same framework with the abstraction, and that's something I believe it's going to be mainstream in the next few years.
Wow. Okay. Thank you for your explanation. This question might be a little sensitive. Is it okay?
Yes, anything. There's nothing too sensitive to me. I like sensitive questions.
Okay, thank you. I've heard that IoTA is the top in this field.
Yes,
and before Ruff, of course.
Yes.
Compared to IoTA or any other companies, is there any strong points of Ruff company?
Yeah, many thanks to IOTA. They opened the gate for the blockchain and Internet of Things. However, as a frontier of this field, IOTA is not sophisticated enough. They have a few problems yet to be solved. First of all, the DAG, the directed acyclic graph, is not yet to be proved. Work. They have to use the coordinator, centralized coordinator, to help with the synchronization. Because for DAG, it's easy for you to submit a transaction, but it's not easy to synchronize with the whole internet. And when it comes to with the synchronization, they have to use a coordinator to help. Then it's not decentralized anymore. They claim that it's a temporary solution, but I guess it's going to take them quite a few years to resolve this problem, up to a few years to resolve this problem. And for Ruff, we don't use that mechanism. We use the DPoS system, which is relatively mainstream, which is relatively adopted by major block public chain. We support contract. It's not just the transactions. It's like Ethereum. It's a contract. It's not just like a UTXO, like Bitcoins or Litecoins or anything like that. And more importantly is that IOTA has not proved that they can support Internet of Things applications. They have no abstraction to allow a regular developer to face the questions for Internet of Things. We have our runtime, we have our utilities and libraries for the drivers, for the protocols, and we're compatible with majorities of the devices. And I believe that matters. So we're working hard on different directions. We're working hard on different fields, and at some certain point, I guess we will see the intersection of our two. But it's still the early stage, so it's hard to tell that which one trumps another or whatever. It's just like we're trying to solve the different questions.
That's true. Okay, thank you for your long explanation. And looking at Ruff's team members, I've discovered that there are a lot of developers compared to investors. Could you introduce the unique characteristics of your team?
On our team, 70% of our team members are developers, and we are very experienced level developers, more than 10 years on experience on average, and we are mostly people from Intel, Google, Baidu, NVIDIA. We focus on the Internet of Things as well as the distributional system, storage, whatever. And also we need community members because we need to run a community of developers, over 15,000 developers. They have different queries. They have their needs, their demands. In order to help them, we need. I hired the vice president who's currently under the Forbes 30 under 30.
Okay.
Luckily, it's a Forbes 30 under 30 Asia. And he's been doing quite a good job. And also, I care about the investors, not just the developers. I care about investors. So definitely, we need a team to answer all the questions from investors. It's not just the technical questions. You can ask me any questions you like if you just follow our social network.
Wow. Okay. And according to the white paper, Ruff classifies Node into 4 categories to enhance efficiency, right? Would you explain how this works?
Okay, that's a pretty good question. When we talk about Internet of Things, we talk about up to 50 billion nodes. It's not like cell phones or the PCs. We're talking about 50 million nodes, like sensors, cameras, or the MCUs, or the microcontrollers. Anything can be a computing unit. For majority of the MCUs of those chips, there's not enough storage for the ledger, for the blockchain, obviously.
Sure.
So those units, their ability, their responsibility is about to process all the data and apply some business logic, set up the alarms or whatever. And then we have gateways, routers, which are relatively larger units. So these ones we call this SPV. They don't store the whole block information. They only store a hash and some information to verify that if the transaction is legitimate, or the updates or the contract is legitimate or not. And then we have the 4 nodes. Those nodes can be up to like 500 gigs or 1 T. Like Ethernet right now is consuming 500 gigs for the 4 nodes.
Yeah.
So yes, and it's growing. So we have the 4 nodes. Those 4 nodes are usually the data centers or the mainframe computers. Those nodes are responsible for the ledger. So they have to store the information of the current global status. And we have the elected nodes. So for to be able to verify all the information, the pack, it's like miners. So we need to pack all the transactions, all the contract data, and then they have the consensus mechanism between all those nodes. So we have 4 levels, and I believe that only if they work together and do their own jobs, there's no other choice to create another network topology, because this is a network topology that's being used in all over the world. So we cannot let the end node, edge computing nodes, to handle all the storage problems. It's not possible. So we have 4 categories of nodes, and they are doing their own jobs.
Okay. Thank you for your detailed explanation. This question might be a little vague.
Yeah.
In your perspective, what is Ruff's opinion on the future blockchain industry?
Yeah, the blockchain industry is still at a very early stage. For example, like the Ethereums, we know that Ethereum is good, but Ethereums can be jammed by cryptokitties easily, right? So we need a public chain to be scalable, more secure, easy to use, and there's a lot of we still lack a lot of infrastructure level stuff products. So we are at a very early stage, but I believe that in the next few years we're going to see more stuff like this. It's not going to be something with an innovation on the consensus part. It's going to be the innovation on the engineering part. Yeah, that's something that we can see, and we need to focus more on the applications. So whenever we have sufficient infrastructure to support the applications, there will be some killing apps. I don't know what are they. I just know that there will be some killing apps for sure, I guess.
Yes, thank you for your answer. And the IoT era has already begun, right? And what is the future goal of Ruff in this region?
Actually, the IoT era, they began many years ago. The first IoT application was introduced in 1990. That was the network Coke vending machine from Xerox, the company called Xerox. That was like 28 years ago. But why it comes develop so slow? It's not like mobile development. They were just like a boom or something like that. Is that the IoT industry is so fragmented? We have different devices, different model types, different specifications, different protocols, different methods of the wireless physical protocols, the application level protocols. It's so fragmented. There's no operating system that's compatible with majority of them, and people and the large companies want to build their own ecosystem. So there was a lot of fights between all these people. Like in our early years, in 2015, 2016, Google was our competitor. Google introduced Brillo, and but they failed in that area. So actually, I could say that we beat Google in some kind of words. I hope that I have so many friends in Google. I hope they're not mad. Maybe they actually admit that. They admit that it's a failure, but they're still trying. And the large companies like Alibaba, Huawei, they are trying too. Well, they ordered lots of our development boards, but they're trying to figure out their own ecosystem. The problem for IoT is that the cost of application development is so hard and takes too long to develop anything. For example, you may know a few web contractors or web developers. They may build an HTML5 website within like a couple of weeks. But it may take like months or even years to build an IoT application that is for commercial use. So our goal is that we're going to lower the barrier. We're going to make it easier. We managed to do so for the IoT part, and we will be able to allow you to upload any data, settlement data to the blockchain, especially when you're talking about consistency or like atomic operations. Anything will be able to support you. And we're scalable. We're not only scalable, we're secure, and we're something that you can count on. And I hope that you're satisfied with Ruff if you're a developer.
I really believe people are going to be satisfied with Ruff after looking at this program.
Thank you. Yeah.
Do you have any other schedules in Korea then?
No, I'm going to stay here for 3-4 dads, but no, I'm just too busy for traveling.
Okay.
No other. I may have a few other interviews or it's all business. So this is going to be a pure business trip. So I don't have time. I love this country. I'd love to explore more about this country, but no, not this time. Probably I'll come back later.
Okay, then what about the future plan of Ruff? Is there any pre-sale or any examples?
You mean for the future? No, there's no pre-sale. I mean, we're already listed in Huobi right now, and we'll probably be listed in one or more of the Korean exchanges, and we're going to build our local community here. I will try hard to acquire more users, investors, and developers in Korea. I know that this is a country with that friendly with the cryptocurrency. Then we have to invest a lot of resources. And I hope you like Ruff.
Okay, thank you. I think we've talked a lot about Ruff today. Is there anything else you would like to add more to today's interview?
Yes, regarding to the previous question about Ruff's goal, I mean, our goal is mostly that we help the developers to achieve their goals. And this is something that I always keep reminding myself, is that it's not about how what I want Ruff to be. It's more about what I want my developers to be. My developers, if they can create decentralized applications that's commercially sustainable, or they can make profits, or they can acquire many users, and that's something that we like to see. So building a public chain is like you can't prove yourself unless you prove somebody else. So you have to fulfill somebody else's dream before yours. And that's something that's the most beauty part of this industry, and that's something this is so me. I mean, I don't care too much about my stuff. I don't care about the other people. Like if I can make other people happy, I can make other people successful, then it's my achievement. There's no bigger achievement than this.
That's really warm-hearted.
Thank you.
Okay, and that was the last question for today. Last but not least, closing remarks for our viewers, please.
Okay, for the past few years, where we may call this the years of the computer scientists, they have great algorithms, they have all the paperwork, they have all the encryption methods and consensus mechanisms built. But for the next few years, it will be the years of the engineers. Those engineers are going to make things happen, and please be nice to those engineers like me, and your future depends on them. Thank you.
네, 알겠습니다. 오늘 인터뷰에 응해주신 로이 대표님 감사합니다. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
코인인터뷰가 준비한 내용은 여기까지입니다. 코인인터뷰는 앞으로도 더 유익한 정보를 제공해드리기 위해 노력하겠습니다. 감사합니다.
감사합니다.